Hey, what's up? This is Canton. Today, if you're new to my page and this is your first video, today I'm talking about sickle cell and the experiences I've had with dealing with my teeth and my eyes. As I'm on the computer looking now, sickle cell causes significant damage to the teeth and eyes, and if you're a sickle cell patient, you know this, but if you're not, you probably don't know this, and some sickle cell patients may not know this, but anything that is not considered medical will not be covered by Medicare or Medicaid. And it's so crazy because just the same way I have 2 years ago, I was told that my hips, the bone in my hips, was beginning to weaken and break down, and they call it bone infarctions, and it can lead to having actual hip replacement. I have a friend that had hip replacement done. I think it's sad, and I don't think it's fair that I have to come out of my pocket. I have to get 4 root canals. I have at least 10 fillings that also have dental caries, which is decay, and they're going to have to be redone, and it's so bad that it's past the dentine and the root, which means root canal is the only thing to do besides extraction. And obviously I don't want to get all my teeth pulled out. I mean, this is going to continue to happen to me throughout my life with this disease. So you know, it's so expensive. Just a root canal and then a crown by itself is about $950, and that's at the cheapest. And that's for each teeth. If you're getting anesthesia and a thing of that, not just local, but if you're actually going to get some sedation, which is the best thing for sickle cell patients, because most of the time invasive procedures exacerbate a crisis, and we will start to ache and hurt and go into sickle cell crises from the pain. So it's a good thing to be sedated, which makes it more expensive. And because of the disease, most dentists would like, or endodontists would like to have someone monitoring us and observation during the procedure, just in case anything happens. That's gonna bump the price up more. So I'm looking at $10,000 plus just to get to a point where my teeth are so bad that I'm having infection, which will cause a sickle cell crisis. Most sickle cell patients, I didn't know this until I got older. In Tennessee, the law is until you're 21 years old, you can get dental and visual, preventative care, major services, whatever is needed, up until the age of 21 here in Tennessee. So at that time, it wasn't really a big issue with me. I didn't have a whole lot of problems with my teeth or anything. The older you get with sickle cell, usually the more problems you have. It wasn't a big deal. Had I known this, I would have tried to get everything done that needed to be done before my 21st birthday. But I'm getting ready to turn 32. So again, I have fillings, that were done 15 to 20 years ago in my mouth. Even my mom was telling me, actually, I got my first one when I was 6. So I'm getting ready to turn 32. So you do the math. I mean, that's 2 decades. Over 2 decades. And they don't last forever. So the problem is, I can't get any help from anybody to pay for this. I get disability because of my sickle cell. I did work. I worked for a really long time. I went to college and everything, but my illness would not allow me to work where it was consistent. There were times I would go into a sickle cell crisis and be in a hospital for a week at a time, sometimes 2 weeks. A lot of people did not want to deal with that, so instead of them firing me, they would just take my hours down little by little until I'm not on the schedule at all. And it's the slick way to do it. I mean, it's smart, I won't lie, because you can't just fire somebody because of their illness. That's discrimination. Obviously, it's on the bottom of every application. Everyone knows that. So back to what I was saying, if these problems are medically, the root is from my disease, and there's a medical reason that this is happening to me, I totally disagree that it's not a covered service. I totally disagree. And I'm not saying that Republicans or hardworking people that pay taxes, I am not saying that this should be like a whole nother welfare thing where one group of people expects to be taken care of by another group of people. This is not the case here. I'm doing all I can. I have very good dental hygiene. He told me that today. So this isn't an issue of hygiene. It's due to the disease. Even with my eyes, I wear glasses. I wear contacts. Sickle cell also can cause blindness, visual problems. I can't go to the doctor when I need to. I go into crises and I'm having blurry vision. What do I do? So, and it's not fair. It's not right because there's nothing that we can do about it. There is no medication. There is nothing we can take or do that would prevent this from happening. And it's so sad because if y'all had a toothache before, I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Toothache pain is like one of the worst pain there is. So imagine taking that and coupling that with sickle cell pain. It's pretty terrible. I did some research on sickle cell pain, and a research, if you want it, I may put the link up on my page. But they found out that sickle cell pain is actually worse than cancer pain in women in labor. They broke it down, the biochemistry of pain and how they work with the nerves and from the brain, and they literally broke it down. Biochemically speaking, this disease is more painful than cancer in women in labor. It blew me away. I think that it's on sicklecelltennessee.org. If you want to look at it, it should be there. If it's not, leave me a message or comment and I will find it and I will send it to you. It was very impressive to read because I've been waiting so long on something to come out where they can see our pain is as bad as we say it is. I'm doing what I can, but guess what? I'm taking money out against my life insurance, my daughter's life insurance. I'm taking all of my savings money out just to pay for this, and it still is not going to pay for 50% of what I need. He told me if I waited another month to 2 months, I would be looking at another root canal. He showed me the x-rays. This wasn't a case of a dentist trying to get over. He's a very good, reputable dentist here in Memphis, Jason Collier, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's awesome. If anybody in Memphis is looking for a dentist, I definitely would recommend him. I was very comfortable there. He was very compassionate and caring, and he listened to what I was saying. And I told him the same thing I'm telling you, and he said, right, it makes perfect sense to me. If they would do a hip replacement, why wouldn't they do a crown? If it's medically caused. And I went and I read the Modernization Act of 2003, I think it was, and they went over, the government went over the section. I can't remember which section it was, but it was a section concerning dental services. If you're hospitalized and you have a life-threatening issue, and the dental issue is causing medical problems, or if you're some type of cancer, renal failure, with several things that were listed, they will go ahead and pay for some things, but it is not guaranteed. It is not a guarantee that the claim will be paid. But if you meet all of those conditions, there's a possibility that they will pay for work to be done. I think oral cancer was another thing that was on there, so it blew me away. A disease is disease. Okay? So the symptoms of the disease shouldn't distinct between which group of people we will pay for services for or not. And I'm sorry, and I know some people go hate this, but I really believe because it's mostly a minority African American disease, I believe it is not of major importance because African Americans are still the minority. We do not make up most of Congress. We do not make up most of the people that make the laws in this country. We are not the leading group of race in this, and I think because of that there's lack of knowledge and lack of compassion because of the lack of knowledge. So I'm not saying they're bad people or nothing like that. I'm just saying they simply may not know what we go through. So the purpose of this is to get the word out there. I have no idea what I can do to change this, but I'm damn sure go try, and I'm gonna do everything that I can because the children, the people that sending messages that have kids with sickle cell and they're having babies and they're saying, hey, my baby has sickle cell. What do I expect? What things can I expect her to go through? What's going to happen? I don't want them to have to suffer. I don't want them to have to come home and they're having toothache pain so bad it's keeping them in a crisis and they can't function and have a normal lifestyle. No one should have to live that way. Yes, there are some places where you can get extractions for a small fee. If I'm not mistaken, those things are either non-profit or funded by universities, like here in Memphis, UT. They do extractions for a small fee, but sometimes extraction is not the best option, and it's still money that you got to come up with from somewhere. So what do we do? And if anybody out there disagree with what I'm saying, please tell me, what can we do? What option do we have? If you're not having problems with caries now, listen, the older you get, you will have dental caries, you will have some decay, you will have some breakdown of the enamel because it's part of the disease. That's what it does. If your bones are affected, your teeth are obviously going to be affected the exact same way. The best thing to do is try to have best oral hygiene you possibly can. Floss daily, brush daily, stay away from sweets, don't eat things late at night. If you do, at least brush your teeth before you lay back down. I mean, these are the only measures we can take, and it's not right, and I don't know where to start, but if they don't pay 100%, there should be something out there to help us, because I cannot take the amount of money that they give in Tennessee for disability and take care of my eyes and my teeth, so I have to risk going blind and losing my teeth. That's it. So I'm hurt, and I'm gonna do all I can, and I'm gonna keep talking. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I'm gonna say it just like it is, and look whoever dead in the eyes and say it just like I told you. But I think in this country, this great country we live in, I think this should be an option for us. And if you agree with me, please leave a message. Leave a comment. Send me a message and let me know. I need to know that there are people out there that totally agree with me. And if petition, whatever it takes, that you are willing to not be silent, so that we can possibly change for the people coming up and the generations behind us to not suffer the things that we've suffered. All right. Bye-bye.